Thank you and welcome to this session of the annual global convening of the Legume Systems Research Lab. Our project is titled Promoting Trade Integration in Regional Legume Markets with Mobile Technology. Our team consists of Professors Eric Crawford, Mayawish Maridia, myself, Michael Olabisi, with our partners in Nigeria, Doctors Ajaybe of Bayero University and ICRISAT, and Ajibade of the University of Ilorin in Nigeria. The technical partners that drove most of the technology are the Venture Garden Group named VGG in Lagos, Nigeria, with support and review from our technical partner or our technical reviewer here at Michigan State University, Dr. Dennis Phillips. It should be clear that the project's objectives are very lined up with the objective of the lab. So the first part of this slide is copied verbatim from the lab's white paper, which is the AOI2. The aim of the lab is to improve information systems for legume value chains by providing information to actors in the value chain and linking actors to information sources. Our work, which is pretty much the development of a virtual marketplace, supports this by connecting actors to one another and to shared information that they can all use in the market. And this is not just meant for one particular market, but all markets across West Africa potentially. The project's organized into two phases. The first phase is to develop an app, which we named Kasua Go, which I just described. In the process for making the apps as we envisioned it and executed was one of co-creation, where we engage with farmers and sellers to define the requirements, to work with our partners to develop the app, to test that app in development with users so that they provide feedback, and to deploy the app at the end of the first phase. The second phase is to, and I'm taking this in reverse order, evaluate the impacts of adoption and usage for the app, to expand the usage of the app both within Nigeria and beyond Nigeria into other West African countries, specifically Burkina Faso and Nigeria. The name Kasua Go comes from the combination of the Hausa word Kasua, which means market, with the English word go, just capturing the idea of the market on the go. It's a virtual marketplace where farmers, intermediaries, and retailers can connect and sell legumes and other grains. And it's ultimately, it's intentionally designed to be a marketplace that connects across geographic and language boundaries. The app, as we have it currently, has Hausa, Nupe, Yoruba, all Nigerian languages programmed into it. And the expectation is that as it goes beyond Nigeria, other languages can be worked or can be programmed to work in the app. Ultimately, we expect that this app will support efforts to integrate legume markets within the region, not just within Nigeria, and give the actors more information for making decisions as they trade. Some of the highlights of the app, and I will describe how it works from start. Some of the highlights of the app, with some having more detailed descriptions than others, is that just like any other app, it's designed so that users can download the app, set up accounts as a user role, as a buyer or seller, or a role that can do both. And once set up, they indicate what products they have to sell for those who are sellers, and what amounts are available for sale. And for the potential buyers, they can indicate what amounts they want to buy and of what products. The critical thing is that the app allows potential buyers and sellers to connect and to actually transact, to say, well, we have a deal. You're buying this from me, this particular dates and this particular quantities at this time. And once the transaction is completed outside the app where deliveries are done and payments made, users have to come back to the app and indicate that the transaction is completed and rate the counterparties so that we have a record of who's a good trader. And that's public so that people know who to trade with based on past history and who to avoid. We also have planned a version of the app for non-smartphone users. So over the next few minutes, I'll show you videos created by our technical partner that describe more of how the app works. And I'll follow that with a short overview of how the process for creating this app. And that would leave time for, before we close, and I'll take your questions.
Welcome to the Kassawago mobile app demo. The app is designed to enable actors of the legumes value chain, which includes buyers, sellers, and resellers, interact and initiate transactions. I'll be taking you through the features on the application in the series of videos we'll be sharing. In this video, we start with the registration on the app, a process that onboards buyers, sellers, and resellers, thereby giving them access to the application. How to register as a buyer on the app. User clicks on the register button on the home page and is directed to the next page to select preferred language. Once this is done, they go ahead to input their phone number, a password that they can easily remember, and confirm that password. User is then directed to fill the registration form by entering their first name, last name, title, how they would like to be addressed, date of birth, gender, state, LGA, and other information related to their basic information. After filling the basic information, finding a seller in the market. Buyers can always find sellers with products of their choice in the marketplace. This can be done via the search or filter functionality. When buyers log on to the app, different sellers and products can be seen in the marketplace. Buyers can then go ahead to make a search by imputing product name in the search bar located on the top hand side of the marketplace. This pulls all sellers with that product, making it easier for buyers to make their pick. Buyers can also filter by price, transportation availability, or state, which brings up sellers that meet the filter criteria. Finding a seller in the market. Placing an order and confirming order on Kassawago. This video speaks to how a buyer can place an order for a product in the marketplace and how the seller confirms and creates an agreement for the buyer. To place an order, the buyer identifies a particular product of interest or the seller. He or she views information on the product by clicking the product image or directly goes ahead to place an order by clicking the Place an Order button. Buyer fills the Place an Order form, imputing the quantity he or she requires as well as other information such as the desired pickup location, who is inspecting, and how inspection will be done, delivery date, and so on. After filling the form, the buyer can click the Place Order button or Cancel Order if need be. How does the seller confirm the order? The seller receives a notification of order request, and at this point, the seller has the option to accept the order and create an agreement or decline the order. If the seller clicks the Accept button, he or she is asked to include other information that will be included in the agreement and then clicks on the Send button to send agreement to the buyer. After the agreement is sent, a transaction history is created and the transaction status highlighted as pending. Delivery of products and payment happens outside the application. In the next video, I will speak on how buyers confirm receiving the orders and sellers confirm that order has been sent. Confirming order received and order sent on Kasuwago. After delivery of products and payment outside the application, the seller and buyer must come back to the application to complete the transaction. This is done by confirming order has been sent and received. To confirm order has been sent, seller receives a notification prompt for order sent. If product has been delivered, the seller clicks on that message and a pop-up confirmation message shows on the screen that the buyer will get notified about the product delivery. To confirm order has been received, the buyer receives a notification prompt asking if they have received the product from the seller. If no, he or she clicks the No button. If yes, he or she clicks the Yes button and is directed to rate and review the seller. Once ratings have been given to a seller, user clicks the Write Review button where he or she includes a review comment around the rating given, then clicks the Submit button to end the process. User is then prompted to add the seller to their supplier list. Once the buyer has responded to the order received prompt, seller receives a notification where he or she clicks on the notification that states that the order has been received by the buyer. The seller is then directed to rate the buyer, after which he or she includes a review comment around the rating given, then clicks the Submit button afterwards. User is then prompted to add the buyer to their customer list. If the confirmation order sent and received is not done within the space of 5 days counting from the delivery date, the transaction status changes to incomplete. But if this is done within the 5 days, transaction status changes to completed. In the next video, I'll be
So, as you see, the app, which again at this point is in the final stages just before launch, it's functioning. It's designed in response to what our stakeholders wanted through a process that was coordinated with our partners in Nigeria. Everything you saw there as to whether people will be rated, how to rate people, the order, what to ask for, how to define products, how they are shipped. All of those were the preferences of people in the market that we captured in the app. Of course, our work was delayed by COVID. But we kept farmers engaged through follow-up phone surveys, and I'll quickly give you an overview of some of the things we found in that. As expected, and this graph shows you, most farmers saw disruptions in terms of higher prices, scarcity of inputs that they were going to use, and lower demand for their products when the survey was done in the spring of last year. What's notable for us is that more of the farmers adapted the operation to use phones and technology more, since face-to-face contact in markets are now faced barriers due to the pandemic. And we think this matters for the adoption of a technology like what we offer. To validate that the design by VGG reflects what stakeholders wanted, we had focus group discussions in August for the first round on a demo version, and the second round in February of this year One part's done, the other for Kano is still to be done on Thursday, February 11th. And the feedback so far suggests that the stakeholders saw their requirements being responded to. Our next steps are to launch the app as soon as March 2021 to work with the stakeholders to promote adoption, especially among youth and women, and to propose approval for phase 2 to the lab. Scale up, our next steps are to adapt technology to the requirements in Nigeria and Burkina Faso as described, and to conduct research on the adoption and impact of the phone-based virtual marketplace. And of course, in the future, have trusted partners to take over the long-term support for this virtual app. Thanks again for being there, for your attention.